What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Golf Simulator videos. We're back today with the Rapsodo MLM2PRO, and this is a huge update. I'm excited to share with you. We have our hands on the beta release of club path and angle of attack. So that's two new club data parameters. It's a firmware and a software update. We're going to take you through everything and show you the new setup today, and then show you in action how we're getting these results. I'm very impressed, and they're being very transparent as well. They've benchmarked this against the GC Quad, and they have within 1 degree of club path and angle of attack. They're saying it's even slightly less on club path. And just so you guys are aware, something to understand. So like a TrackMan unit is very accurate, right? Does a very good job with club data, but you're actually going to get a different measurement because it's taking them at different points. So I've used the example in the past on club speed. It's very easy to understand. The club comes in, and right before impact, that's when GC Quad gets its speed. On TrackMan, it actually is right after impact, so it's just slightly slower. They're both very accurate. They're both great for benchmarking and working on your speeds, but they're measured at different points. They're both correct. It's just measured at different points. So something to understand if you're like comparing this out on a TrackMan facility or something like that, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm excited to show you this new setup and how it works. It's important for you guys to understand. That way you get it set up properly. But let's just go to practice. I'm going to start a new session. That way I can show you. I go net, Pro V1, current elevation. And you'll just go ahead and grab a club. I'm going to use a wedge today. I think it's going to be a good example that I can kind of demonstrate, a shallow and a steeper, shot and things like that. So this is new, this level reading. Now, what is this? This is actually the tilt of the unit forward and back. All right, so I can press on it a little bit and it should go back to 0, but it's a little delayed. So when I press on this, see how that's changing? It actually is just slightly delayed, so be patient. Make sure it's reading where you want it to read. You can see mine is perfectly level. You can't beat that. But it's very important for the club data. All right, so I'm going to hit continue, and now you're going to see 2 separate boxes. Now, why 2 separate boxes? Well, the original yellow box, that's for ball data, and I'm going to kind of show you where that would be, kind of the width of, just shallow of the width of my hitting mat. And then the ball or the club data is the orange box. And you can see if I move that forward and back, depending on the placement of your unit, that's where your club data is going to be. And I'm going to take a tee, all right, and I'm going to just kind of put it right in line with the ball. And so I know where I'm hitting from. Now I have kind of a confined space, so I'm only about 7 feet unit to ball. So that's something that's important, for me to know where to put that ball to make sure that I'm not, shorting it on its most accurate placement. So there we go. We've got it aligned. We know we got it in the proper spot. I do want to take this into horizontal mode. And then I want to point out to you guys that in the bottom center of the screen, you'll see a ball and a club. We want to change that to club because we're going to be, talking about club data today. And then I'm actually going to change this over to the right to club data. And I'm just going to hit a normal shot to start off. This is a 58-degree wedge. Let's just hit like a 75 or 80-yard shot like I normally would. My attack angle is somewhere around the 6-degree range, 7-degree down on the ball. And depending on if I'm swinging the way I want to, I would love to be square to slightly out to in, trying to cut a wedge. So we'll try to make that kind of swing today, but I can come from the inside real easy. I kind of swung way too hard. That's probably 85, 90 yards. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought about it after and I was like, well, that was a full swing. So at least I was able to call that out. But it was almost a square path. And my attack angle is 7 degrees. I mean, it's a very normal shot for me. And you can see that was a straight ball. I mean, it was a really, really good strike, honestly. It was just funny how, I said I was only going to hit like 75 and I hit it like 10 yards longer. I almost, just made a normal full wedge shot and didn't think about it, but that's okay. We'll soften it up maybe a little bit. But what I want to do now is, this should be easy for me to demonstrate with wedge. I just can't promise anything. Might have to take a couple swings. But if you were someone that takes the club way inside and shallow, you're not going to see, you could even see a positive angle of attack, and you might not understand that. And you could look at data parameters of averages, you know, best practices. You know, there's PGA Tour averages and everything that you could look at. You could talk to your PGA professional, and they'll give you, you know, data to work on. But let's just go ahead and make a swing now and say I'm going to take it from the inside, try to shallow the club out. And let's see where that number goes. So I was 7 degrees down on the ball. And now where am I? Hoping that shallowed out all the way down to 3.4. Way inside, 8.2 degrees that club was going. All right. And then you can see the side carry, obviously 2.4 yards, launch direction 1.9. You know, carry was similar. I made a similar swing. I mean, totally different results. And I just have to be honest with you, that's not probably how you want to be hitting your wedge. So you can actually work on that. Now, what I'm going to try to do this time is I'm going to try to actually overdo it and actually come steep on the ball and a little bit outside in. This is actually something that people can do. They can come up over the top and dump their club. So I tried to really get down on that ball. I'm hoping on seeing a nice high angle of attack, and I'm hoping on seeing a negative path number. I tried to work it to the left. Yeah, negative 3.2, but look at that attack angle, 10.5 degrees. And I got a little extra juice out of it, kind of stepping on it. I didn't make much, you know, heavier of a swing, but it just, the data speaks for itself so easily. I just felt like this was a great club that I was going to be able to demonstrate, you know, for you guys. Now, you can use this in other situations. So let's just go ahead and leave this session, and let's just go ahead and go to the range, because I'd like to show you guys some flight as well. So we'll just do net. And we'll do Pro V1 again. Target distance. I was hitting those about 90 yards. I think that'd be good. And we'll just grab my wedge again. And I want to make sure my data parameters, so it gives you that option to line everything up again. Look at that, we're dead level. Can't beat that, huh? We're within our range there. Now, if you wanted to, you can swap out data parameters. You can go to change metrics, change that out, but I have club path and angle of attack, and so that's perfect. So I don't need to worry about anything else down there. You know, this range is pretty nice just to, you know, make swings, you know, and see your ball flight. So let's try to hit that cut shot and see if I can get a ball maybe working just a little bit left to right. It's a hard shot for me. It's what I've been working on. Yeah, that ball's working right. And not bad for distance. Attack angle, 5.4. Club path, negative 1.5. I mean, exactly what I was trying to do. Now let's say I was trying to like squeeze a wedge, and I can get this club, you know, over 100 yards. I'm generally going to be hitting like a draw. So let's just go ahead and see if I can, you know, make more of a distance swing, and look at that data. Hopefully I close that down enough to where it's going to draw back. You're going to see some squeezed, you know, distance out of it. And notice right away how I just come inside out when I'm hitting that draw, and it shallows my club out a little bit. I'm not quite hitting down on it as much, but everything else is right where I would want it. I got the distance that I want. I mean, that thing carried 100 yards. It just makes a huge, huge difference depending on how you want to hit your shot. I think that these are metrics that are excellent for your average golfer. I encourage you to talk to a PGA professional and see where your numbers should be. Every swing is different, guys. So you can't just look at a chart and be like, I want to average a PGA Tour Pro. Remember, those are averages. Some guy could be much lower, some guy could be much higher. Those are just average numbers. I encourage you to talk to a PGA professional and actually see, based on your swing and your goals, what you're trying to do, where your data should be. So what I would like to do is at some point take a GC quad and do a side-by-side comparison myself. I did it a little bit, but quad gets some interference. I always notice that when I'm running units side by side, that I could get like a missed shot. And I don't like doing that unless I know it's going to be accurate. So I'll mess with it more and see what I can get. Let's hit one more shot for you guys. This time I'm gonna, try to show you a little more of that cut shot, and I'll see if I can, get that angle of attack up. 6 or 7 or so would be the goal. Maybe just a little in to out. I'm sorry, out to in. I swung a little harder. That way, hopefully I can get a good distance out of the cut. Oh, that was just perfect. Now my angle of attack, not quite as steep as I'd like to get from that, outside in shot. And it's probably because I swung a little bit harder. But I mean, look at that ball flight. It's exactly what I wanted. Just a little bit out to in, generated some nice higher spin from the cut. That's the other thing that I've worked on is that, you can generate different spin with different path and swing types. So that's something you could work on. You could see how your path and your attack angle are affecting your spin. Spin's gonna, affect how it's landing on the green and reacting. It's gonna affect distance. It's gonna affect a lot of things. And you should pay attention to your launch angle too, depending on how you're, hitting your attack angle and everything. So these are things that, you're gonna be able to play with. If you're not part of the beta program for Rapsodo, you can actually go on their website and you can submit to get access to it. I know that they're gonna start opening it up to more people. Based on my feedback so far, I am very impressed. This is a first look video. I want to do more testing. Happy to hear what you guys have to say if you want to see something additional. I'm interested in testing driver. I mean, this is fresh. I just got this. I wanted to do a first look review because I hit way up on driver. If I was warmed up, I'd make a couple swings right now, but I'm not ready to hit a couple drives. But I'm 5-6 degrees up on driver, so it'll be a really good test. Maybe we'll do a whole separate driver review with the Rapsodo MLM2PRO. So as always, guys, I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned. There'll be a lot more coming soon.